Hello.
Amazing.
So you once called this the perfect lover.
Yeah, the perfect oneness, wholeness is the perfect lover because it never leaves you. Again, people, when liberation happens, people say to me, it's amazing because the thing I was looking for never left me. It was always here.
Mm-hmm.
It was always this, what is. And of course, it doesn't matter what anybody does. They can come to these meetings, or they can go watch football, or they can go and watch the pictures, or go for a walk.
Mm-hmm.
And what they long for never leaves them. It's constantly there, tapping them on the shoulder, saying, "Hello, I'm here already."
What's the thing between a man and a woman? Could we call that? Yeah, everything is love, but what's that?
I think for me the relationship, let's say between man and woman, although I think it's for anyone in any sort of relationship, you know, we all have a male and female energy in us anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But male and female energy for me represents the apparent opposites that seem to appear out of nothing or oneness. Oneness appears two opposites, let's say male and female. The male energy is essentially more to do with detachment, and the female energy is more to do with devotion. It's more alive and emotional. Mm-hmm. And the two, I feel, are very, very attracted to each other and also repelled by each other, because there's something in each of them that frightens the other one. And for me that's an absolute representation of what liberation is about. It's like the opposites are attracted to and repelled by each other. Many people are attracted to this message, and when they come and hear it, they're repelled by it as well.
They run out of the room.
Oh yeah, they can do, or they don't like it because it's so confronting. This is a message that's deeply confronting. So the female and the male are attracted and repelled because somewhere they know, somewhere it's absolutely known, that if they really come together and melt into each other, they'll be lost. They'll lose their identity, which is what liberation is.
Yeah.
Liberation is just the loss of identity.
And what happens during sex, for instance?
Yeah, absolutely. It can do. It depends.
Yeah.
There could be 4 people in the room, or there could be no one in the room. You know what I mean? In that sense, there could be 2 bodies and 2 minds, or suddenly the whole thing evaporates.
Yeah.
So, for me, the male and female energy are just representations of the opposites that appear out of oneness and seem to activate apart, and then finally they come together. And of course, they were never ever apart.
Yeah. We only thought they were.
Yeah.
Okay. So everything is a story?
Well, only for the individual. The individual, as far as I'm concerned, the separate identity is the story. Mm-hmm. There's no story outside the separate identity. Directly the dream of separation arises, the clock starts ticking, and the story of me begins. Mm-hmm. Apparently. It's only apparent. Yeah. It's an illusion, actually. But within that story arises, I must make my life work, or I must find enlightenment, or whatever. Liberation is simply the collapse of that whole story. The whole idea that there is such a thing as time, destiny, deity, and all those things simply collapse at the point of liberation. There's nothing left but beingness, which is indescribable.
But frightening for the individual.
Frightening prior to liberation. Of course, after liberation, there's no one to be frightened because there is no one.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's only beingness, there's only isness, there's only life.
Yeah.
Just life happening.
So nothing special, or everything?
Oh, it's not special, no. Well, it's totally ordinary. After liberation, everything goes on as it did before, but for no one. Mm-hmm. So, in a sense, it's completely ordinary, and in another sense, it's simply wondrous. It's really remembering and coming back to childlike wonder. Yeah. The childlike wonder of
who looks around and
the wonder.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
So thereafter, there's a living in wonder. It's not a great orgasmic thing. You don't go around having orgasms all over the place. But there is a gentle, gentle sweetness, a gentle wonder about everything, anything.
All the time.
People, carpet. Oh yeah, there's no one there anymore.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen to a person. Mm-hmm. There is just wonder.
Yeah. So the person doesn't pop up once.
Oh no, there's no one.
You never
it
get
was
pissed
illusory.
Off.
No,
when you get pissed off in traffic.
Pissed off can happen, but there isn't anyone that gets
pissed off.
No, that whole idea of identity that owns something is not there anymore. Yeah. Life, all there is free flow.
Mm-hmm. So all expressions of life, so irritation.
Oh yeah. joy, sadness,
sadness.
all
It's still,
absolutely,
yeah.
and even more so because prior to liberation, the individual is only half alive. After liberation, there is just life full on. There's
So
nothing,
you express it.
There's nothing else.
Yeah,
Boom.
yeah. So you don't hold back.
Well, it isn't that you don't hold back.
But prior, the person
prior.
holds back.
Yeah, the person
Well,
holds back, absolutely.
I can't sneeze.
But after that, there's nothing that they can't fart.
Yeah, yeah,
But after that, there's nothing that holds back. There's nothing to hold back.
yeah. But sometimes people call that, how's it called in Dutch, asocial. You know what I mean?
The mind would love to turn this into something nasty.
Yeah,
It's totally impersonal. This message is absolutely impersonal. It has got nothing else but impersonality in that sense. So a lot of people actually think that it is nihilistic or not very loving or not very compassionate.
yeah,
But as far as I'm concerned, the only compassion there is the compassion which illuminates the illusion of imprisonment. The only compassion there is that which sets free this apparently imprisoned person. There's no other compassion. The idea that you should be sympathetic or nice to people or try to help them in their suffering, for me is just another deal going on between people.
yeah,
This is about something that's totally radical and uncompromising. It's love. It's about unconditional love, which doesn't compromise, doesn't please people, doesn't try to help people feel better about themselves.
yeah.
That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But this message is pointing to something beyond that whole drama.
Has your way of responding to questions out of the audience, has it changed during time? Or are you still more to the point than 10 years ago? Or?
Page 4 of The Open Secret, paragraph 4, says everything, and that's 12 years ago, 1997. So the basic message hasn't changed, but the wording has. I find that I'm dropping words like nobody's business because there are certain words that are very confusing. So it's much more simple and direct than it was, but it's exactly the same message.
Yeah, but still you are patient in telling it over and
Oh,
over
no,
again.
no, I'm not.
No?
No. There isn't anyone here being patient.
Okay, but...
There's just a response. This thing here might get, somebody asking, why is there suffering in the world? 3,000 times maybe I would know, but it's always uniquely new.
Freshly.
Because everything is new.
Yeah, that's
So,
true.
there's not something here being terribly patient and saintly.
So only the person would go like,
Oh yeah, no.
here we go again.
No. Because we don't go anywhere again. It's always new.
Yeah, that's a great one. Yeah, it's still fresh.
Yeah, absolutely. Everything
Yeah.
is. Everything is newness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
again and again and again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.